Hey, this is Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions, and today we're going to be talking more about expanders. You can see here that we have a fixed expander, and I want to thank Specialty Appliances Laboratory in Cummings, Georgia, for donating this demo model to me and allowing me to make some demo videos. So this is kind of your standard mini fixed expander. When would I use this? I would use this in a patient that was not yet skeletally mature. Remember how we find out about this? There's many different ways to find out about skeletal maturity. In boys, of course, you're looking for signs of puberty being completed, like facial hair, feet are done growing. What else? Obviously, voice change and Adam's apple. Those are the 4 things I ask about. This should be a really comfortable conversation to have with the parents and the kids, and it's often quite obvious, so sometimes you don't even need to ask. For girls, it's a little bit more of a sensitive conversation. Remember, for boys, the age could be anywhere from 11 to 17. Average maybe 12, 13, 14. For girls, it could be anywhere from age 9 to 14. Average is probably, and it depends on your demographics, is probably 11, 12, or 10, 11 even. So for girls, it may not be as a parent. You're going to have to ask those questions about when menses began, and it's a sensitive question, but it's important that you explain the why behind it, because if you're trying to do expansion or growth modification on a patient that is skeletally done growing, it's really probably not going to work. So that's why you need to know. So if somehow you can't get that information for whatever reason, and I don't see what not, or if the answer is no, they're not skeletally mature, but you're trying to figure out what type of wiggle room you might have, another great idea is to take a hand-wrist x-ray. You can do that on a regular Ceph plate. And there's some give and take in learning how to do it, but if you do take a good hand-wrist x-ray, I can teach you how to interpret it. It's very easy to read the growth plates. So anyways, back to our expander here from Specialty Appliances. This is a standard mini expander. It also has soldered face bow hooks on it. These face bow hooks can be used for protraction face mask or advancing the maxilla in a growing patient to jump a crossbite. They're fantastic. It's really easy. Check out some of our previous videos. But today we're talking a little bit more about how to turn the fixed expander. So remember, always look for the arrow, and there should be an arrow on it, and it's really hard to see. The arrow is pointing down here, okay? This 12 tells you, well, if I turn it over, you can see the 12 better. This tells you the size of the expander, how much width you can expect maximum. You're not going to turn it that far, but there's usually 7s and 12s, and they'll try to probably fit the biggest one they can get in, but if you have a preference, you need to let them know. Okay, so see the arrow going down, right? You see it? Oh wait, it's going that way. Okay, there we go. So you want to make sure you put your key in the top hole, okay, and there sometimes could be more than one hole showing, and you want to turn it in the direction that the arrow says to go, okay? And sometimes when you try to get your key in, there is some gunk in there, actually more than often. Okay, you can see I put my key in, okay? This is my favorite kind of key. This is the swivel key. I would recommend you order these. It may not always come with your case, and I would always have extras because the patients will lose them. They cost like 50 cents. You can get them on eBay or at any orthodontic supply company. So put your key in the away or in the direction where you can turn, and then you're going to go ahead and do the full turn, okay? Do the full turn until you see a new hole come up. Can you see the new hole? The full new hole, okay? This is the key. When they pull this out, remember, this is the patient's laying down, so this is a little trickier and it's kind of dark, so someone needs to be holding a flashlight. You have to have a bright light. When you pull the key out, the new hole should still be there. See it? And if they're not sure, because you don't want to rock it back, then you should put your key in the new hole and make sure that you can put your key in the new hole, which I can. I just did. So anyways, that's the trick for the expander. And I would definitely have the parent practice it outside the mouth. I'm going to roll this turn back now, just so we have it ready to go again. But I would definitely have the parent practice outside the mouth before you glue it in, and then have the parent do the turn in the mouth while you are still watching it. Now I'm rolling it back. This is not the way to do it, okay? And different expanders are going to turn different directions, so you just have to follow the arrow is the main thing, okay? So again, follow the arrow. when you do the turn, make sure the whole new hole comes up. If it's occluded or full of gunk, they might need to use a toothpick or clean it out to make sure they got the whole new hole. And when they take the key out, the whole new hole should still be there the whole time. Don't rock it back, okay? Frequency of turns is going to really depend on the age of the patient, what goal you're trying to get, how skeletally mature they are. So some people are turning once a day. For this fixed one, obviously shorts are removable and they're going to be a lot slower. Some people are turning 3 times a week. There's a whole algorithm that goes with that, and it's not something that I can probably do on a webinar. But if you're working with us at StraightSmile Solutions, we'd be glad to explain more on how you do this. And remember, risks, if you turn too fast, too frequent, or in a patient that's skeletally mature, there's all kinds of risks that can happen. I've seen teeth go through the buccal plate. I've seen loss of vitality of teeth. I'm not saying I did this. These are ones I've seen other people do. And all kinds of really scary things, as well as just blowing out their face and looking really bad. So let's pain, discomfort, hemorrhaging I've heard of. I've heard of death, hemorrhaging out their eyeballs if you try to expand it too much. You need to make sure if you're using an expander, especially a fixed one like this, that you're doing this on a compliant patient. You have a good relationship with the parent. You do not want to let the patients go away for an extended period of time. You should be seeing these patients at least every 2 to 3 weeks during the active expansion time, if not every week, to check on many different things. So anyways, that's it. That's how you turn a fixed expander. Thanks again to Specialty Appliances for the sample. And if y'all want to order from Specialty, give me a buzz. I'll be glad to refer you. Thank you.